Stop squinting. Seriously. You're at row 4032, column AA, and you just lost your place again. For a while, we've been doing these mental gymnastics to fix this. We wrote complex conditional formatting rules, maybe dabbled in scary VBA, and wasted hours just to get that simple crosshair highlight so we can actually see what we're working on. Well, stop it. Microsoft dropped a feature that technically makes all that hard work obsolete. It's called Focus Cell. One click, and it does it all. But does this actually kill conditional formatting, or is it just a shiny new toy? Today, we're going to go head-to-head. The new easy button versus the old faithful formulas. By the end of this video, you know exactly which one to use so you never lose your place again. Let's dive in.
So what Focus Cell does, it makes it easier for you to show a cell when you're displaying it. So for example, if you go under View and click Focus Cell here, the cell that you clicked in, there's horizontal and vertical highlights that indicate what cell you're in. So if I click here, it indicates what cell I'm in. So if you are showing this to some stakeholders, it just makes it easier to display. So let me turn this off. Another neat thing about Focus Cell is if we toggle it off where it shows auto highlight, if I do a Control F and try to find something, let's say I try to find 12450, 12450, and click Find Next, it finds it, but it also shows the highlighted of the intersection of it. I'll go to Find Next, and it'll do the same. So this is kind of a nice way for you to show visually where you're focusing your cell. Now, if we didn't have this, there is kind of a similar function using conditional formatting, VBA, to do this, but that's not really a good use case for it because that's probably a lot more work. Another way that we can do something similar to this and provide some interactivity is with conditional formatting by itself. So how do we do that? Let's give it where we're giving some interaction for maybe our stakeholders, and they can select something like the sales rep and what category they have here, electronics, home, etc. So I'm going to copy this, Control C to copy, bring it over here, Control V to paste, and I'll call the second part category. Let's make this both the same. Go under Home, Format Painter. I'll format the painter there. And here I'm going to create some drop downs and make it a little bit easier to select. So sales rep, let's put that into a data validation list. Go to Data, Data Validation here. It's going to be a list. And what's my source? It's going to be A2 to A30, this list of sales reps. Click OK. And now you notice there's a drop down here that I can select from the list. Do a similar thing for a category. Data validation here. Let's do list. What's my source? It's going to be these items here. Click OK. And now my category drop down, I've got these categories. Let's select the first one, James Jimmy over here, and sports, just to make it easy. And with that, let me double click this to auto fit here. I want it to highlight that cell there. How do we do that? To highlight the intersection between the vertical and horizontal axis. So I'm going to select my values here, this range here, and go to conditional formatting, new rule. And what I'm going to do is use a formula to determine which cells to format. And I need to have it where whatever selected here in column A equals this particular cell. So I'm going to say A2, so because we're going to start it from A2 here. The range starts from A2 to A30. Does that equal to K3? And you notice when I click in here, it's an absolute cell reference. What that means is it put the $ in front of the K and the 3, so that stays static. It's always going to reference that cell. But for A2, we want it to go down the line, the rows, A2, A3, A4, A5. So that doesn't stay static, but column A needs to stay static. Put a $ in front of the A. We're going to do something similar with the category here. And this sports is going to be this first row here. So it's always going to be row 1, but it could be B1, C1, D1, etc. So I'm going to put B1 as the starter. Does that equal to K3? And that's got to stay constant. The $ in front of the K, $ in front of the 4. The $ in this instance needs to stay in front of the number 1. So I'll put a $ there because it's going to change for the columns B, C, D, E. Now we got to wrap this into a function called the OR function. I'll put an equal sign here in the front, and I use the function called OR, open parentheses. I need to close that in parentheses now. And now change the format to make it yellow or green. Let's make it yellow. Actually, it's easier to see. Click OK, and now it's highlighted. So this does give you kind of a similarity to the focus cell, but it doesn't give you the highlight difference in the actual cell. It just kind of gives you the intersection. So you kind of get an idea where it's intersecting. So I've changed to something else. Let's not do sports. Let's do automotive. You'll notice it's going to change to the middle. So it kind of gives you a visual indicator of where the intersection is. So that's a similarity to the focus cell. Not exactly the same, but it gives something that's similar and it gives some interactivity. So you probably would use this if you wanted to do a dashboard or you want to give this to your stakeholders and give them some selection. The focus cell option that I showed previously is where you're demoing something to somebody and you wanted to make it more clear in terms of where it is in your table. So there's different use cases for this too. And I hope this kind of gives you an idea of when to use one versus the other.
Quick verdict. Use focus cell for instant visibility, but keep conditional formatting for interactivity. If this tip saved you time, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, there's another video suggested at the end that might help you on something else.